Hello, everyone. So, do you guys remember in the decision making lesson, we played a game called Spend or Save? So, in that game, you were taking a trip and you set a goal to save money to buy a cell phone plan. Along the way, you made decisions to either spend money or save it. If you chose to buy something rather than save towards your goal, the purchase would have had to have been pretty special, right? So, we often have expectations of the products that we buy. What is an expectation? Good. So it's a strong belief that something will happen, right? So when you buy new sunglasses, you expect those sunglasses to do something for you. And those expectations influence your decision to buy them. What expectations would you have for sunglasses? Good. So maybe to make yourself look cool, or probably to protect your eyes from the sun, right? So, today we're going to talk about a drug that people often have high expectations of. It is legal for adults 21 and older to use. What drug am I talking about? Right, we're talking about alcohol today. So, some people are drawn to alcohol by a positive expectation of what they think drinking will do for them. What might these expectations be? What do people think alcohol will do for them? Let's go over a few, right? So maybe they think it'll make them happy, feel mature, be funny, be cool, be accepted, be more social, make them get drunk, right? Look attractive, become uninhibited, appear smart, feel relaxed. So does drinking alcohol actually make someone more mature or attractive? No, right? Where do you think these expectations come from? Good. So maybe the way it's perceived in a movie, or they see parents or adults acting that way. It's what people say. Everybody says, right? So, would a teenager with positive expectations about drinking alcohol be more likely to drink? Probably so, right? If people expect drinking alcohol to be so glamorous, they might not consider any of the undesirable outcomes of drinking. What do you guys think are some negative outcomes of drinking alcohol that sometimes people ignore? Yeah, for sure. So let's see. So maybe easily angered, might act stupid, get sick, act aggressively, be forgetful, become addicted, feel embarrassed, get arrested, make regrettable decisions, right? There's nothing glamorous about being forgetful or sick. Regretting something you did or wishing you could take back something you said is no picnic either. What percentage of students your age do you think drink alcohol? Take a guess. Would you be surprised if I told you that that number is actually a lot lower than what you're thinking? Less than 15% of 8th graders have used alcohol in the past month. That means more than 85% of 8th graders do not use alcohol. Sometimes people believe that everyone is doing something simply because of the people they hang out with. For example, if someone hangs out with a crowd that drinks alcohol, then that person may believe that everyone drinks. The reality is, the majority of teenagers do not use drugs, including alcohol. So, alcohol affects every part of the body that it encounters, starting with the mouth and continuing to the small intestines, the heart, the brain, and then finally the liver. Which of these body systems is most impacted by drinking? So that's going to be the brain, right? So your brain has been growing and developing since you were still in the womb, and it continues to develop through your mid 20s. In fact, your brain is developing right now. Your teen years are critical in the developmental stage of your brain. Newer, more powerful sections of your brain are growing, giving you greater capacity to learn, to make better judgment and decisions, and to better relate and connect with people. This process prepares you for more serious challenges that you'll face as an adult. The presence of alcohol in your body system inhibits the healthy growth and development of the brain. So, if you think it's tough to be a teen with a developing brain, imagine living life as an adult with an underdeveloped brain due to alcohol. So I want you guys to go ahead and turn to page 13 in your workbooks and look at the images of the brain at the top of the page. Alcohol consumption first affects the frontal lobe, which includes the prefrontal cortex. Which functions does that lobe control? That's right. So that controls your ability to reason, distinguish right from wrong, and other judgment functions are controlled here. So let's look at the rest of the diagram. Which other brain functions does alcohol use impair? Right, so it's going to impair your heart rate, memory, balance, coordination, and breathing. So think of an activity that you like to do or a goal you're working towards. On page 13, I want you guys to circle the areas of the brain that you would use to complete your activity or reach your goal. Alright guys, so because alcohol impairs the brain's ability to function properly, alcohol will affect your ability to reach your goal. I want you guys to list 5 reasons why drinking alcohol would keep you from reaching your goal or completing your activity. I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to do this, okay? So, underage drinking affects the healthy development of the brain and can affect a person's ability to participate in activities and reach goals. Pressure to drink does not always come from someone saying, drink this or else. Often, people pressure themselves to drink alcohol, believing it is something that they need to enhance their social lives. This expectation often leaves the individual surprised by the reality of the negative consequences and outcomes. In a moment, you guys are going to get into groups to play a game called Party Smart. So in this game, you and your friends are going to attend a party. Alcohol is present at the party, and a few of the partygoers drink and face the consequences of their decision to drink. So the object of this game is to be the first player or team to match the alcohol-related scenario cards to the alcohol-related consequence cards. As a non-drinker moving through the party, you avoid the negative consequences of alcohol and you have a great time. Teachers, I'm going to need you to go ahead and pause the video and split the students up into groups of 2 to 6 players. For groups that are bigger than 2, the players can team up. That way it gets the game going a little bit faster. They are going to need the Party Smart game board and the game cards that go along with that. Alright, so now that you guys are all in your groups, here's what you're going to do. So go ahead and shuffle the positive play cards and place them in the appropriate space on the board. Blindly place a scenario card face down in each room on the board. Shuffle the alcohol-related consequence cards and deal an equal number of cards to each player or team within the group. If there are extra consequence cards, place them off to the side face down. Don't worry guys, I'm going to leave this up so that you guys can follow along. So the way this works is each player or team will roll the die and move the designated number of spaces on the board. You may move in any direction. Once you're in the room, pick up the card, read it aloud, and try to match it to a consequence card that's in your hand. If you have a match and everyone is in agreement, put the pair down. If you cannot match the scenario card with a card in your hand, put the scenario card back in the room face down. The first person or team to match up all of the cards in their hand with the scenario cards wins the game. If you land on a square with a light bulb, you will draw a positive play card, read it aloud, and advance forward. Alright guys, so I'm going to give you guys probably about 15 minutes to play this game. Just follow the instructions. I'm going to leave them up here so that you guys can see them, and I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and bring it back. So because you knew the truth about alcohol, you avoided alcohol and enjoyed the party without any negative consequences. Drinking alcohol is not necessary to have a good time or to fit in. In our next lesson, we're going to talk about what influences teenagers to use nicotine. I'll see you guys next week.